Hello, it's Colette. Welcome to the weekly tarot card for week commencing Monday, the 28th of November 2016. It's a minor arcana card this week and it's the Four of Swords in the Rodig deck. Absolutely beautiful. It's got very much crystalline things on it. It's got the moon. It's beautiful, beautiful meditative blues in it. Just absolutely gorgeous. The word it says in the Rodig deck is truce. Now, in the original Rider-Waite's and those type of decks, this actually has a knight that's come back from battle and is actually lying down, resting. In some decks, it looks as though he's dead and on a plinth because he's so white or grey, excuse me. But he really is, there's a truce in the battle and he's basically rejuvenating again. And that's the essence of this card in that deck and also in Rodig. It's about using the time before the next battle to actually rest and recuperate and get ready for action. So we had the Sun card last week and now we've got this. And, you know, the two of them, when I see them together with, you know, the Sun and then this one following, it reminds me of everybody out there that's got, you know, things like fibromyalgia or autoimmune diseases where they maybe do too much and they used up too much energy and then the next week they're flat on their back. So if that's you, you do need to rest this week. You do need to listen to your body. Lie down, relax, rest. And it's also about you, because it's a swords card, which is air, it's also about letting our minds rest a little as well. Now, there's been a lot going on in the past few weeks between elections and this and the next thing, and there's been an awful lot of words and an awful lot of thinking, and that's good. But I think we're getting a wee bit overwhelmed by it all, and sometimes for us to fight the real battles, we have to draw back in for a while. So call a wee truce for your brain this week and definitely work with mindfulness and even download a mindful app for your phone that interrupts you at various times and tells you to have that quiet time and look at this visual or look at what's going on. This is very much a mindfulness card, but there is this aspect of almost like the truce before the next battle. So what does that mean in the various areas of life? If we look at career first, it's about giving as much as you can, but if there's certain ways that you can cut corners or you can have the same outward result without giving 150%, then do it. You know, there's certain ways we can do our jobs that we can make ourselves more comfortable, or we can in some way say, well, I'm doing that, but I'm not doing that. In work this week, it's about making compromises and calling wee truces, because there's going to be the need for energy in maybe the next few weeks to come. So in work, I'm not saying do your job badly in any way, I don't mean that, but there's times where we've got the energy to give so much, and this week's not like that. Do as much as you can and do it well. Don't take on extra work this week. Don't say you'll do something because you won't be able to, okay? So if we then look at health, it's very, very similar. It's about looking after our mental health, looking after our bodies, giving ourselves a break, not being hard on ourselves, generally saying, well, this week I'm just doing what I can and no more. And people will just have to accept that. Sometimes it's good to voice that so that your family know that, you know, you're not having a great week. So people need to step up and take over a wee bit. It's always better to let people know because they're not mind readers. So please ask for help this week if you need it. And if we look at love, if you're looking for a partner, you might find that if you drop your standards a little this week ahead, you might find that you meet someone very special. Now that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Drop your standards, but maybe the words are wrong, but so many people go out thinking right, I want to meet this type of person, and they're very much in a little box, you know, they've got to do this, they've got to be that, they've got to have this income, blah, blah, tick it all off, that's the type of person you want to meet. And therefore you don't look outside of that. And by not looking outside of that, you could miss someone amazing. So if you're out and about this week and you connect with someone that isn't your type, why not try just to see where things go with that? Because this week you could be surprised that a certain type of partner that you thought, oh no, not for me, actually is the one for you. And if you're in a relationship, it's time maybe to call a wee truce if the arguments and the stress is building up. You don't have to win all the time. So please be the first maybe to say, you know what, this isn't that important. Why don't we put this aside and go have a coffee? Or why don't we put this aside and go for a cuddle? It's about making compromises because relationships are worth compromises, okay? It's not lowering your bottom line, I don't mean that. I mean, in a general loving relationship, there'll always be weeks where there's tension, there's arguments. This is a time to call a halt and to just compromise, agree to disagree, okay? If we look at money, again, it's very similar, and it's, you know, you may want something new. Say you want new shoes, and you could have ones at £300, or you could have a very similar pair for your Christmas party for £30. I go for the £500 or £300 ones. We bit of compromise, same style, same design. It's about being sensible with money in the week ahead. Christmas is coming, solstice is coming, festivals are coming. They always cost more money. So if you can get something cheaper, why not? Just learn to compromise. Or maybe this is maybe where I am at the moment, right? Maybe you've got Christmas organised. Stop buying. Call a halt. Don't see something else and say, oh, that would be great for that person, I'll get them that as well. No, if you're organised, if you're a kind of earth sign, organised, Taurus or Virgo or whatever, and you've done your Christmas shopping or you've got your birthday presents or whatever in, stop. They don't need anything more, okay? And your bank balance certainly doesn't need you to keep on buying. So call a wee halt where money's concerned. So rest, recuperate, be mindful, compromise, be gentle. Be gentle with people round about you. Everybody has their own battle to fight. Some of you have no idea of what they're fighting. So be nice, be kind, be gentle. Make compromises. You know, even if beforehand, through anger, you couldn't make compromises. Look at the person. Do they need a compromise this week? If you see they do, what harm's it going to do for you to make a compromise? This could heal a feud. This is the card that can bring families together. If people are willing to compromise, it can heal. If people are willing to call a truce for long enough, it can be used for that as well. So, lovely card. Sometimes people get a wee bit worried about it because the negative side is it can be that someone is ill and they need time and they're literally been taken off their feet until they give it that time. But that's the extreme side of this card. And if that's you, then maybe you need to be taken off the feet. Remember a few years ago where I was going and doing everything that I needed to, and then I got leg ulcers. I was off my feet for months. And I realised after that I just could not go on the way I was doing. And, you know, out of that came Skype readings, out of that came my YouTube channel. I had to think of ways to compromise so that I could still work, I could still have an income, and I could still give my readings, and I could still pass on any knowledge, but it couldn't be the way I was doing it. And that's kind of a bit like this card. So if you find that your health is compromised in the week ahead and it's because you've been doing too much or doing something in a wrong way, then use this time to think, how do I go forward now without going back the way to those patterns that really weren't good for me? Okay, so compromise, heal, be kind to yourself. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up or a like, because the more likes I get, the more I know that you like this type of video, and the more I will do. And I'll see you next week for the next week's weekly tarot card. Many blessings now. Bye.